Hello, fellow train tubers. This is David, BAC V Railroad, and I thought I'd do an update. I was actually going to do just a two-part series on my demo rebuild of my Centerville line here in Fremont. A little history of it, and then I'll tell you where I'm at with this mess. So the Centerville line, Fremont, California, it was host to the Western Pacific, Southern Pacific. The WP had a yard, just a little west of Niles Junction. A small yard, a lot of traffic, maybe got set out there and interchanged down to there. They had a separate line that went down to, all the way down into Warm Springs, Milpitas, down to, eventually down to San Jose, and a lot of that's gone now. But anyways, on my railroad, again, I own the UP, and in the 80s, I bought out, about a number of different railroads. So the way I work this is on the left is my previous WP, my old part of the layout, cut into my new part of the layout. And with the UP, they decided to use the same tracks as the SP. So they cut out their yard, decided not to go up their Oakland sub, and now they're cut in on the SP. And thus the mainline tracks, just two mainline tracks. Initially there was just one on the SP and one on the WP, but because of Amtrak they increased to a second main track. So I figured, why don't I just cut this all in and run it all through here on the south side of the drywall plant. That's a little history of that. And that's why I decided to redo it. That's a nice thing about doing a prototype freelance. You can kind of come up with in my opinion, do a layout maybe based on a prototype, but then make changes based on, hey, you took over the railroad, and hey, this is what I'm doing to keep the traffic moving. So my drywall plant, I was hoping to do some painting today. It's not quite warm enough to do spray painting, so I wasn't able to get out there and work on that. So I figured, what the heck, I'll tackle, like, currently putting in this working siding. That's what I'll call it, a working siding right here. And I thought I'd just, bring out a few tools and kind of work on that. These are some weights, but of course, just bringing out a few tools, it comes, end up bringing out another tool, and before you know it, you got a complete mess. And that's why I figured I'd show this, because this is usually what happens until it's cleanup time. I was able to, I did some plastering here yesterday. I just kind of plastered this area, kind of the, I don't know, it came out a little orangier than I probably wanted, kind of a dark pumpkin orange almost. But that's okay. I'm just going to put scenery over it. So I did put in the roads this morning, just I used Buff Woodland Scenic's buff for that. So I think that came out pretty good. I tried to put in a little curvature, and in the background you see a little house on the other, little farmhouse on the other end there. So I'm going to put in a trailer. I got a trailer that, my grandparents lived in a trailer when they retired on a couple small lakes. So I figured I'm going to do that, kind of get a little family history into this. So that's the other things I'm not 100% sure. I think in my previous part 1 video, I was going to put in this where they unload the paper for the drywall plant. And really the drywall plant there in Fremont, as far as I could tell, they did not have a separate place where they unloaded drywall. I think it all just went straight into their long building. And, if you've ever been to a drywall plant, I toured one time there in outside of Las Vegas, and I think it's go on for, I don't know, it seems like a mile or two. They're obviously very lengthy to make that drywall and make it fast. So yeah, as you can tell, this is where I'm at, my mainline tracks. So I'm debating whether or not to put that in yet. That's why I ended up, I just put this track in just now. Up to the switch. Code 83. This is code 100. This is just what I have. I don't have any more code 1 or code 83, so I'm just kind of throwing that in until it gets more code 83. So That way I get things kind of running. But yeah, as you can see, the Midwest cork, that works good. I'm in the middle of sanding it too. I put down the cork, I put down the smoother edge closest to me, and the background I'll put kind of the rougher edge, even though I'd come back and sand it, but it still doesn't look as nice as the smoother edge. When you tear it apart, there always seems like there's a smoother edge, so I gotta still, this isn't down yet, this track, I gotta sand this mess. Here, this is just, oh gosh, I always forget what size, 2 foot by 4 foot thin cork, and I'll use that, I'm just gonna use that for my spurs going into the industry there. And this is where they're gonna empty the gypsum right there, and I'm waiting on some more items. This is just a plug for model train stuff. I order a lot of my stuff through them, so I'm waiting on my conveyor. And there's weather delays. If you guys are listening to this right now here in mid-February, the country's getting whacked by weather. So I'm in Northern California. It's not so bad, but it's still, hate to tell you this, it's in the 50s here, but when I spray paint, I've done a lot of spray painting over the years, and I like it to be say low 70s, and I do all my spray painting outside with whatever I'm painting, have the sun on it, but I do not leave the spray can itself in the sun, because then it gets too warm. So I just found the low 70s, as much spray painting I've done over the years, with whatever object you're painting, have the sun on that, and spray paint it and put the can in the shade so it doesn't sit in the sun. So along with the conveyor belt, I'm waiting for 5 pieces of flex track, the concrete ties flex track, to finish my #1 track, and I just need 3 pieces of that, and then I'll be done with that. That is again, that's on weather delay per UPS's website, and that's fine. I understand. There's no rush in getting it. I got other projects to do. So yeah, this is where I'm at, guys, and it's kind of coming along. And like I said, I just wanted to show you a complete mess. Thanks for watching, and thanks to all my new subscribers. I build the layout for myself, but I do the videos to share with you guys, for just for you all to see, and hopefully get some ideas, and especially with all the things I run into, all the problems. So take care, guys.